You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Michael Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
And welcome to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge. Glad you've joined me. It's a beautiful day. Nice and sunny, kind of cool, a little windy. But Palm Beach is always nice. Unless there's a big old tornado coming in or hurricane coming in. But other than that, it's a really nice place. Listen, the conversation today is economics, business, and the type of individual that you choose to be president and how it all rolls in together. I'll be right back.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
So I've given this lecture before, but I feel that I need to do it just one more time because we're getting so close to all these elections and everything. I've always said that the difference between Obama and Trump is the type of individual who was pro-business and an individual who wasn't pro-business. You see, the way that the economy moves is if the business community feels confident. When it was Obama, there was this untrusting feeling because business did not know exactly what Obama was going to do next to business. And when he said business, he meant small business too. When he said a millionaire, that meant the people were making $100,000 on up. That's his $1 million. And that's what affected so many people. They didn't know what Obama was going to do next. And as I said before, I was sitting in Chamber of Commerce in both Orlando, Florida, and Los Angeles, two West Coasts, two different Chamber of Commerce, and the conversation was always about how business was frozen. They were in limbo. They were in pause mode. What was the phrase I remember coming out of Orlando sitting in those meetings? The businesses were in pause. They didn't know what Obama was going to come down on other mandates on business, on hourly rates and overtime rates and age rates. It was crazy. We didn't know what was going to happen. So business sat back and they said, okay, we'll just wait this out. Let's see what's going to happen. So for 8 years, they sat there and they didn't add any more jobs to the market. They didn't build any new businesses. They didn't buy any new capital equipment for their companies. So everything was in pause. We were in pause mode. So then when Trump became president, very pro, very, very active in business, was looking at tax breaks for small business and corporations, looking at hiring rates, and it was an amazing experience because all of a sudden business said, okay, finally we have somebody on our side. We finally have somebody that's going to listen to us and going to work with us. There's not going to be any more of those sneaky mandates coming down affecting you. So that was the whole difference between Obama, this feeling that you didn't know what was going to happen next and how it was going to affect your business. And then there was Trump, where the taxes were lowered, red tape was cut by government bureaucracy. Everything happened pro-business. So businesses began to hire. They began moving their plants back from foreign countries. They began adding new equipment. They began buying new capital equipment to do their manufacturing here. Things changed because people had confidence, and that is the key word, confidence. Now, let's go to where we are right now. We still have Trump, who's very pro, but now we have some elections coming up in the next week where two people are high in the ratings, Sanders and Warren. So Bernie Sanders has opened up the leads in Iowa and New Hampshire, if you want to look at most polls. But what you have to do is take the polls and average them out and then take minus of this and minus that, and you come up with a number. So when the market sees Sanders is ahead, they kind of say, okay, well, that's okay. Sanders is ahead because he can't beat Trump. The economy is what drives you and me. It's what we say, okay, can I buy that or can I buy that? Is the economy going to stay strong, or are we going to go into a deep recession once Sanders or Warren gets in, because they are anti-business? They want to change the whole capitalism model. Capitalism is that structure that provides jobs. It creates new businesses, it creates new products, it creates all kinds of different things that stimulates what money is flowing in and out of our hands on a personal basis. But when they see Sanders and Warren, they don't care that they're ahead because the markets say they can't win against Trump. Their ideas are too leftist. Their anti-capitalist message is bad for the nation. And I've always said this, if either one of them were to ever win, this nation would go into the deepest depression it has ever gone. Because I'm going to tell you, people are going to begin, companies are going to begin to pull back. They're going to start laying off because they've got to build up cash to be able to survive whatever Sanders or Warren will attack us with. So I was reading from Axios, AXIOS, and they said the state of play, buyout firms and see or face a threat from either Sanders or Warren presidency. But much more of it's a threat from Warren's campaign and all of her war on words on business. Sanders wants to largely dismantle the modern capitalism, which would include private equity. In short, burn down the house and rebuild from scratch. Warren wants to fix modern capitalism, whatever that means, believing private equity is one of its most broken pieces. A remodel with private equity in the driveway dumpster. So you see, that's how they view the individuals and businesses out there right now who are holding cash and are doing the private equity and the buyout firms and everybody else. They see them as a threat to our economy. So they went on to say, they said, between the lines, if Sanders were to win the nomination or remain a contender until the final primaries, it's unlikely that he'll mention private equity very much outside of generalist broadsides against Wall Street and the 1%. So they already know that they're going to get attacked and that their businesses are going to be hurt. They're going to be attacked by these far left individuals who think capitalism is bad. So right now we see a market saying, okay, we've got two individuals there who are really socialist magnets. I mean, they are really individuals who believe in socialism and that the government control is the most priority to them. And government control meaning everything that we do as businesses, everything that we do as individuals, everything in our healthcare, everything in our our hiring practices, everything needs to be controlled by the government. So the business models at the moment, business people like me are looking at these two individuals and thinking in the back of our mind and in the front of our mind, what damage are these individuals going to do to the American economy if they were to ever sit in the chair of the president? Warren has already said she's going to, on day one, she's going to do this, this, and that. And one of them is to erase all of the student debt. Billions to trillions estimated to the expense of the American taxpayer. It's gone. Companies that provide lending services are going to be gone. They're going to be put out of business. You're going to have individuals starting to appear on the unemployment rolls again because there is an attack on business, and businesses will lose confidence. The American consumer will lose confidence, and we'll be in the deepest depression that will ever be in. When the markets feel that they're being attacked by more government, the money machines that should fund new businesses and new ideas and new technology, their hands become fists because they're holding on to the cash because they don't know what government's going to do to them next. We already went through this with the Obama administration. But with two socialists, with two anti-capitalist views, jobs are going to go away because the confidence is not there that they can sustain these jobs if they're going to be attacked with higher taxes, more regulations, and more hand-holding from the government to tell them what they can and cannot do. We see this in California at the moment. California today at 10 a.m. By the way, all of those of you who are at the 10 a.m. rally against AB 5 and you want to repeal AB 5 because it hurts small business, it hurts independent contractors, and it hurts people who just want to work out of their home part-time, it hurts those individuals. So if you're meeting at 10 a.m. at the north side of the state capitol in Sacramento, I'm there with you. I've been fighting this and fighting this and fighting this for you guys and for my clients there. Tell Sacramento that you don't want to be controlled. They have no right to tell you that you can only write 30 pieces or 30 articles for a company and then you have to become an employee. That's the most stupidest law ever in the world. So those of you in Sacramento at 10 a.m. this morning, and you're standing there in the state capitol, I want to hear your voices all the way here to Palm Beach, Florida. I want to hear those screaming. I want to know that those people in the state assembly are listening to your screams. They're listening to your anger. They're listening to your voices that they don't want government involved in their lives. And the only way you can make changes is by telling people in government, this has got to stop. So I'm there with you guys. I'm there with you. Repeal AB 5. AB 5. Repeal it. Now back to my talk about the socialist side that was taking control over individuals who think free stuff is all good, but free stuff costs trillions of dollars, and pretty soon it bankrupts you much faster. Right now, we have a really strong market. We have really good capitalist side of our country. We have the highest amount of taxes being paid into the IRS at the moment. If you look at their stats, we're at the highest we've been. Why? Because we have a capitalist system where businesses are able to make business. They're hiring more employees, so more money is flowing into the government, even though the tax rates are down. But you've got more cash flow going in to the Internal Revenue Service in the way of taxes to support the government. But I'm telling you, if a socialist regime comes in and takes over the United States presidency, you're going to see a lot of hurting people. Now, those of you that love socialism, listen, you're talking about a nation, a country, who is very independent, and they want to remain independent. People want to be able to start the new businesses. Under socialism, you won't be able to do that. Won't. You just can't. It doesn't go along with the socialist mainstream. If you want to go up the ladder, you won't be able to do it because government will say, no, your wage should be this amount, and that's all it should be. You will never be able to work yourself way up to a level where you would be considered financially secure. You're going to be held down at a certain level under socialism. Taxation right now is steady. If a socialist government comes in, up goes the taxes. If you look at listen, I have been in so many socialist countries, and the people there are angry, they're upset, because taxes have gone so much that they can no longer go out and go to a movie or go to dinner or go dancing or anything because everything is going to taxes. They think now that just getting a bottle of beer and drinking it, that is luxury to them. Taxes have gone way up. I could go on and on with all of the negativity from a socialist government if one sat in the office of the president. So it's very important that when we are choosing our leaders, that they're on our side. Not on the government side, but on our side. They are representing our voices. They're representing our needs. Not an individual or not a situation where people are focused on the government and how much government can have control over you and me. It just doesn't work. We're Americans. We don't believe in that situation. It just doesn't work. So think about this as you are sitting down and listening to all of these candidates. Are they pro-you, the individual, or are they pro-government and they want more and more government stuffed down your throat every single day? Sanders and Warren are just not the individuals fit to run for president. They just are not. We don't want to go through this deep depression of economic woes in our families and our businesses. We don't want to see our companies shut down. We don't want to see this happening. We want to be confident. We want to be confident in our president. We want to be confident in our government. And we want to be confident in our own business lives and also in our personal lives. That is the way that America has been built. And that's why America was formed, because they were trying to get away from the tyranny of the UK, of Britain, of a king. But now, with socialism and the threat of socialism, you're going to see the same type of situation happening again in America that we tried to escape from when this country was formed. So think very carefully about who you vote into office, because their agenda may do so much damage that it will take so many years to recover. We need good leaders. We need good leaders that look out for the American people. Listen, if you have any questions or comments and you want to get back with me on anything, text me at 818-252-5682, 818-252-5682, and I'll be more than happy to talk with you. This is Mike Lodge. I'll talk with you soon.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
This podcast has been produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content.